Hi, happy full moon or almost full moon. Today, I'm recording this on Tuesday, the 10th of June, a little bit later in the evening. The full moon has already been full mooning for me, so you may have felt some of the tension as well. And that's the definition. One of the definitions of a full moon is that the sun and moon, of course, are polar opposite each other, and so there is quite a bit of tension in the air. And I'm sure you see that in the national news and everything that's going on. But most people I've been talking to are feeling it a little bit in their personal lives too. And so for me, what came up was technical challenges. Oh my gosh. So a couple of days, yesterday and today, everything seems to be going haywire, including doing this video. I got a new camera and I'm trying to work trying to work with that. And I don't know. So I don't know if I'm even going to share this on YouTube. We'll see how it turns out. But I just want to tell you that, yes, there's a bit of tension in this full moon. We got some drama. Here's the chart of the moon. I always like to show that chart. Even if you don't know how to read it, I'll read it for you. I always like to look first at what's good. What's positive about this? Well, one of the things that's positive is we just have had Jupiter move from 29 degrees Gemini. Now, the 29th degree, my good friend Carolyn Precourt, the late great astrologer Carolyn Precourt, called that the degree of tears. And it certainly was, because tensions just ramped up nationally with everything that's been going on, everything you've been seeing on TV. It gets real serious with the 29th degree. The first degree isn't too much better, but at least it promises a new beginning. And Jupiter in Cancer is a focus on the family. It's more feminine. It's more intuitive. So, and particularly if you have water sign placements, particularly in the early degrees, it's really nice for you. If you have Cancer placements, Jupiter's moving in your direction. Jupiter is the planet of all good things. It's sort of the cosmic Santa Claus. So expansion, travel, growth, good fortune, all that comes under the domain of Jupiter. And there it is at 0 degrees Cancer, just moved into Cancer. It's right next to Mercury. So the key to this full moon and the next 2 weeks is to communicate from the heart with honesty, and kind of in a one-on-one, if you can help it. It's kind of more of a one-on-one communicator. Communicate what you truly believe and care about, and reflect back to the other person what they truly believe and care about, and see if you can't find some common ground. That's where you're going to get all your, or most of, I want to say, your advancement, growth. That next level is going to come from how sensitive, again, Cancer is sensitivity, it's emotionality. You don't want to be overly emotional. That's the other side of the coin, okay? With Jupiter, there's always another side of the coin. But mostly it's the greater benefic planet. And so when you have Mercury connected to Jupiter that way, you can get yourself out of quite a bit with the right communication. And there might be a few little tight spots in this chart, what's happening now, and over the next couple of weeks, but especially over the next few days, and you're probably already feeling it, there might be a couple of tight spots to get out of, because we do have some troublemakers. But before we go there, I want to talk more about what's good. Venus is connected to that conjunction. Venus just moved into another sign as well, and it's a really good one, because Venus rules Taurus. It also rules Libra, but it just moved into Taurus. So we're at about 5 degrees Taurus with Venus. And that just is Venus in its dignity. That's just where it wants to be, right? And so enjoy good food, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy art. It's a very sensual planet, and it's a really good sensual and earthy placement. So like I said, the outdoors, concerns that have to do with the climate, the earth, those are all favored right now. And also just in personal relationships, that communication, because there's a nice friendly aspect between Mercury, the planet of communications, which is conjunct Jupiter, and Venus. So we do like these kind of interpersonal things that are happening. Well, on a larger scale, it may seem like there's quite a bit of drama happening, and believe me, it does. Every news station is spinning what's happening in Los Angeles and what's happening around the immigration situation in a different way and in a way that benefits, whatever their interests are. And so just need to know that there's a spin, there's drama, that things are being dramatized maybe more than they need to be. Things are being hyped up a little bit more, and you'll see that in your personal interactions too. Notice where the drama is coming from. Notice who benefits when a certain narrative is pushed. And I'm talking about at your work, because I'm seeing while Venus is in nice aspect to Mercury and Jupiter, Pluto, which is the planet of power, can get you in a little bit of trouble, and it's in a square to that. And so, yeah, you could get your feelings hurt. You could get, there could be power struggles in any relationship right now. So just try to communicate your way out of that by reflecting back what the other person is saying, being sensitive to the other person's concerns, not flying off the handle. You're the one that's watching this video. You're the one that knows what's going on with the moon right now. Okay, so you're the one that knows that there could be tension. So the first thing, I did this video in another application, in another way, trying to use this new camera, and this is all new to me, and I swear it was perfect. So I'm going to try to equal that in this video. But one of the things I want to say is that you kind of have to, before anything else, focus on your own centeredness, your own groundedness. If you can be grounded right now, think about Gemini and a Sagittarius, the sun in Gemini, the moon in Sagittarius. Those are mutable signs. They kind of are like, bright, shiny objects. They are taken on tangents right and left. If you can ground, know what's important to you, know what you want to achieve, let people know when you don't want the distractions, and just, move forward. Move forward with your goals and your plans in a centered way. Keep coming back to that centeredness. Meditate. Whatever it is for you that gets you centered, do that. So there's a possibility that, things will get out of hand. Power struggles will happen. They're happening already on the national stage, but there's some good news too. Mars is also favorably connected with Jupiter. Jupiter's sort of like our saving grace in this chart of the full moon. So Jupiter actually is the planet that rules Sagittarius. So they're both lucky. So we're actually in a lucky period, believe it or not, even though I think the drama is going to ramp up before it comes down. So just know that. And know that a lot of it is drama. Question all the sources, pretty much, and I'm talking across the board. I'm talking about what people are saying in your workplace, what people are trying to get you to look at in the news, everything. So just be a good consumer of the media, be centered, and be the one that you may have to mediate, because you're watching this video, your boss isn't watching it, your coworkers aren't watching it. You might have to be the one that kind of gets in there. It's like, it's okay. This is all's well that ends well. That's really kind of the theme of this full moon. A full moon gets things out of the way. It's cathartic. It clears. Like I said, I think I did say that after a full moon, the couple weeks after a full moon, you want to clean, clear, declutter, eliminate, reduce, whether that be in your diets, in your obligations and commitments, whatever it may be. What is no longer serving you? And what is standing in the way between you and your grand vision? And what's standing in the way of you and the world that you want to live in? So how do you want to show up at this time in history, in this place in the world? That's a very fair question to ask right now. But things, I've talked about this before, but I'm just going to reiterate it again. I've talked about it with Jill on her podcast and a few of these other videos that I'm doing. I've talked about how unity is coming. It's coming, but it's coming through some really kind of difficult and dramatic situations. For most of us, it's going to be okay. And the more centered you can get, the more grounded you can be, the more it's going to be okay. All right. The more you are focused on what really matters, the more it's going to be okay for you. Jupiter's making nice aspects. It's also making a few rough aspects. But again, it's Jupiter. It's making a rough aspect to Saturn. So there may be a little bit of push-pull between sort of the past and the present. People trying to bring up stuff from the past, you can try to center them again in, okay, that was the past. Can we draw a line under it? What do I need to do to assure you that this is the way things are going? Do you need to see the action? Again, Mars is coming in here. So it's a really good time overall to sort of clear out, get rid of, start anew, or at the very least, I'm saying between the full moon and the new moon, clear the runway so that you can start anew down the road here, maybe in a couple of weeks when the new moon comes. I always tell people that's the time to start new things, to launch new projects. Hopefully you took my advice around the last new moon and did a few of these little token starts on things that you want to pursue. And if you've done that, then you're now in a completion phase. Even if it's only a little bit done, you're still kind of finishing up as opposed to launching, starting, all those kind of new moon things. All right, what else did I want to say about this? Yes, irritations will surface, frustrations will surface, but you'll be waiting in line and you didn't want to wait in line, but you'll meet the person who maybe has the job at the place you want to work, or, or maybe you'll meet a new friend or something will come of it. Always go into just about everything with the expectation that something positive will come of this. That's what Jupiter is telling us right now, because it's so present. It's so aspected here. Pluto is also very aspected too. There are going to be power changes, power shifts, both in our national world and in your workplace, perhaps. So you may see those little movements and shifts, and maybe you can do a little, pushing in the direction that you feel is right. So watch where you put your energy right now. Watch what it's saying about you. One of the things I want to talk about is this book, this very dog-eared book I have, the Sabian symbols for this time. There are 2 Sabian symbols that I'm going to share. And one of them is a kid and a dog wearing eyeglasses. That's the one for, I believe, 21 degrees. Because we're in the middle. Well, actually, it's 1 degree ahead, so I don't want to confuse you on this, but there's 2 symbols that we're going to use for this full moon. One is the kid and the dog wearing eyeglasses. And that's sort of like, and one interpretation of that is a bit of a fake it till you make it. So if you can bring up the confidence and you can visualize yourself in a new position, new job, new career, whatever that next level is for you, and you can kind of, how do I want to say that, angle for that to happen, network for that to happen. So there's that part of it. There's also this absurdity that can come in and sort of quell the tension of the moment. So definitely use that to your advantage. The second one is a Chinese laundry. Chinese laundry is the second symbol, which has to do with your cultural background, racial, ethnic, cultural background, and using that to achieve what you want to achieve. And not only is it racial, cultural, and that sort of thing, which is speaking to our moment right now, but it's also these innate talents that we each have to dig deep and to question our affinities and what we are being drawn to that makes absolutely no sense to the practical mind. If you want to take a class in underwater basket weaving and you really feel drawn to that, yet there's a part of you saying, oh, but how am I going to make money weaving baskets underwater, right? Maybe just, what's the word? Entertain that a little bit. Maybe just let yourself lean into that a little bit. And anything that might have a past life or an ancestral or cultural kind of leaning for you, I would lean into that and see where that takes you. You may find yourself learning a new art, learning a new skill. These things are very valuable right now. So watch what you're being drawn to. I say that a lot. Another thing I want to say, just looking at this chart, is a lot of you are taking score too soon. I have talked to probably about 5 people in the last week that were very discouraged about things that didn't happen for them, that they either wanted or expected even to happen. And this chart says we're moving in the right direction. You're moving in the right direction. How can you get your compass straight and not be discouraged by this one little event or happening and keep moving in that direction? I know. That's just the message that I was giving a lot of people in the last week, because we don't want to take the score too soon. Things are still in process. Okay. So that's all I can think of to talk about right now. Really, I could talk about this all night, but I want to keep this somewhat brief for you. And I will write, if anything else occurs to me, I always write it on Patreon. If you want to join as a free or paid subscriber, it's cheap as chips. If you do want to join as a paid subscriber, I write kind of little musings about what I see or what I forgot to say when I did my video or did my article. I've just been doing videos lately. So there'll be a little bit of that in case I did forget something, but that's the gist of it. I think it's a good full moon. Keep yourself grounded. Know you're moving in the right direction. Keep your internal compass set on where you want to go, and know that the drama is just the drama, and try not to get drawn into it, because a little bit of drama, but think of it as Disneyland, or how about, let's say, Magic Mountain. Nobody's gonna die. It's fine. It's just thrills and spills. You're gonna get where you're going. Okay. So happy full moon, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.